Okay, so today is July the 2nd, and we are going to start our class at 8:21 a.m. about unit number 7. This is class number 2 of unit number 7, and we are going to start by showing the PowerPoint presentation we started last class, but that PowerPoint was not finished because I added some other activities we are going to be doing today. So our main objective today will be to describe vocabulary and to describe jobs and collocations that go with jobs, like adjectives and expressions that are very useful to describe what you do as a profession. Then after working with the presentation, we also have some exercises to do at the end. So now that we know what we are going to be doing, I'm going to show you to our next part of the activity. We will also be working with the book, but not all the activities of the book. We are going to focus our attention in the questions connected with the word spend that appear in our book, unit number 7. All right?
Yes.
So let's get started. Let's start it with the PowerPoint. I'm going to show it to you as we said. It is the objective is communicative. So our objective is for you to interact and speak when you are going to describe your job. What are you're studying, Eduardo, now? What is your program architecture?
Not I physical education.
Physical education, beautiful. So for physical education, you are going to be describing your job as a teacher of PE. PE is the name for physical education.
Yeah.
Okay, remember that PE. Everybody knows it like that. Jobs, work, and career. Many people confuse these three words. They are not the same. Job is the noun that is for an activity that is specific. So my job is to, for example, teach children how to do exercises or teach people how to do exercises. That is your job. So my job is that is specific. You
Yeah.
receive a salary for that. Okay, it's your profession, your occupation. Work can be a noun. Ojo, Eduardo, que noun significa sustantivo, ¿ya? A noun and a verb. So it is more general than a job. It's not that specific. And
Mm.
look at the examples. You can say, you
Ah,
work at, esto tenemos que tener ojo con esto que está en negrita acá.
yeah.
Work at or work for when you talk about the company. For example, in your case, in physical education, you can say, I work for um, a school. I work for a congregation. I work for a university. I
Mm.
work, or you say at for the place. I work at, for example, Macay. I work at Sagrados Corazones. Okay,
Ah,
so you say the
entonces
place,
work at vendría
Mhm.
siendo con, o sea,
The
sí,
place,
con,
the place, el lugar.
place, sí.
Exactly.
Y
Work for es
work
para
for,
quién trabajas.
ya,
Así que eso tienes que tenerlo bien en consideración. Todo esto que estamos viendo con work, esto que están en negrita, porque
ya,
esos son importantes para la prueba, pues los voy a súper preguntar.
ya, work for,
Work at, work for, y los que vienen ahora, work on. Es en
work,
qué estás trabajando, se refiere más que nada a un proyecto, a una tarea, a algo en lo que estás trabajando. Por ejemplo, I'm working on my thesis. Estoy trabajando en mi tesis.
ya,
I'm working on, this is an example for market analysis or improving customer satisfaction. Si lo dices con una acción y no con
mm,
un algo, esa acción va con ing. Por ejemplo, a ver, una actividad típica de educación física. I'm working on improving health habits in teenagers. Estoy
mm,
trabajando en mejorar. los hábitos saludables de los adolescentes. So I'm working on improving.
Claro.
¿Te fijas que ahí cuando dices la acción y no la tarea en específico? Si le
Yes.
dirías, I'm working on a project for improving health in teenagers.
Claro, voy captando, voy captando.
Sí, perfecto.
Yes.
Vamos a ver, work with. Se refiere con quién estás trabajando. With people or with objects. Vamos a ver people. Si alguien te pregunta, oye, ¿y en qué estás trabajando ahora? ¿Con qué tipo de alumnos? Tú dices, this year I'm working with preschoolers. Este año me toca con preescolares. I'm working with preschoolers. La otra opción es con un objeto. Tú trabajas con hartos elementos.
Claro.
¿Sí? Entonces, por ejemplo, estás en la clase y le quieres decir a los niños que hoy día van a sacar el mat de trabajo para que estén en el suelo.
Ya.
Espérate, vamos a agregar a un llamado. Esperanza, siempre está Esperanza. Esperanza, I missed you, Esperanza. You're always in classes. Let me see. Diego. Of course, Diego is joining the class because he's always present in classes. Diego and Esperanza. But I don't know where they are. I don't see them. Diego is here. Hello, Diego. How are you? Diego, are you sleeping? Are you here? I think Diego is here. Esperanza, hello. Oh, Diego, it says hello. I remember you're not using the microphone today, Diego. Okay, so hello, Esperanza, welcome. We are taking a look at last class activities, last class information, because last class is super important. In the test, I will focus my attention on these aspects: work, job, and career. And we are also going to be doing some exercises at the end. I was talking to Eduardo. Eduardo is a student from physical education, all right? We were giving examples. We were with work with and with objects. Eduardo, retomando, ¿se acuerda que estábamos hablando de trabajar suelo, verdad?
Yes,
Con
yes.
mat a los alumnos. Entonces le dirías, cuando es un objeto, today we are going to work with a mat. So pick a mat from the storage room. Y les das la instrucción de que lo vayan a buscar. So working with, es con un objeto aparte de los niños. In the case of Esperanza, are you there with a microphone? Diego? Diego or Esperanza?
Sí.
Yes, you study architecture, right?
Profe, le escucho muy cortado.
Oh, debe ser internet. ¿Y ahí
Sí.
tampoco?
Como que le escucho por
¿Y los demás, Diego y Eduardo, me escuchan bien?
De vez en cuando como que se corta, pero claro, no.
¿En
mi
general me
computador-
logran entender?
Sí, en mi computador no es un problema.
Ya, en caso de que no me escuchen bien, me avisan al tiro, ¿ya? Para yo repetir lo que se perdió. Para los que estudian arquitectura, Esperanza y Diego,
Sí,
¿sí? Ya. Basic elements that you need in architecture. Elements like point, line, plane. Could it be like that? Do you know the elements in English that you need in architecture? Like typical elements? ¿Qué cosas son las típicas que ocupan en arquitectura? Para dar el ejemplo con with. A swing,
una
scale,
wincha de medir.
wincha de medir. Okay, so anything else?
Quizás papeles.
Okay, so let's talk about the tape measure. Tape measure. Ocupemos la cinta de medir. ¿Cómo diría usted usando work que hoy día van a trabajar? Hoy día trabajaremos con una cinta de medir. ¿Cómo lo diría? Tape measure, acuérdate que se dice. Today,
Today we're going to work with a tape measure.
that's right. When you use work with, you talk about the elements or you talk about the people. ¿Ok? Ahora, ¿cómo diríamos? Vamos a trabajar con este plano.
We are going to work with this plane.
Exactly. Very good. Now we are going to be looking at the last definition. The word work also refers to the context of your place of employment. So we can say, I start work at. Cuando hablamos de at, siempre, cuando hablamos de la hora, siempre usamos at, ¿ok? I start work at, okay? So also you can say that you start your project on a date. So for example, in the case of architecture, you can say, I start this project on January the 1st, or I start this project execution next year. Entonces, expresiones tenemos que tener para futuro. I start this project at, para la hora. I start this project on, para un día o una fecha completa. I start this project in, para solo el mes. Si solo vas a decir el mes, I started this project in March, for example. Si dices también, I start this project next, para las próxima semana, next week, next month, next year. Y si lo quieres decir en tantos días, usas in. I start this project in 2 days. I start this project in 2 weeks. The same with physical education, Eduardo. I start classes at 8 p.m., at 8 a.m. I start classes at 11 o'clock. I start classes in 2 days. I finish my project, I finish my unit in 2 weeks. Acuérdate de estas expresiones, ¿ya?
Ya, yes.
Okay, so when we talk about career, me ha pasado mucho, sobre todo con el ambiente universitario, que como en español decimos, estudio la carrera de arquitectura, estudio la carrera de educación física. En español se dice así, es ¿qué carrera estudias? En inglés es program, porque la carrera, the career, como tal, se refiere a todo lo que has hecho en tu vida profesional desde que te titulaste. That is your career. Look at the definition. Your career is the total progression of your professional life. It can include many different jobs over the years. So you can say, for example, in architecture, you can say Professor Martinez or Professor Puentes, that I met a professor at Catholic University, Puentes. Professor Puentes had a very important career in Spain in architecture. ¿Me entienden? No sé si Esperanza, no la escucho a ella, pero si entienden el concepto de career, that is different from program. It is not the same.
Sí.
Perfect. So all in all, as a summary, job is a specific activity that you receive a salary for it. Work can work as a noun or as a verb, and we need to pay attention to the prepositions that go with it. Career is your professional development. Last class, we were doing these exercises. So you would make a good. So for example, you say, Juanito would make a good accountant because he's very good at numbers. Esperanza would make a good architect because she is very clever with projects. You see, so you have different examples with the expression, you would make a good. Eduardo, you would make a good PE teacher because you've got a lot of energy and you work well with kids. Okay, so remember, would make a good is the expression we studied last class. When we were describing jobs, we found some adjectives like tedious, stressful, well-paid, you work long hours, challenging, hectic. You meet lots of people, dangerous. You need very good qualifications. It's a piece of cake to say it's easy. Badly paid is the opposite of well paid. Exciting, interesting, relaxing, safe. There's usually nothing to do. You can go home early. You don't need a degree, and isolated. All those were adjectives we saw last class for describing jobs. Is there any one that you don't know? New for you? ¿Hay alguno que necesiten saber por qué no lo conocían?
Degree?
¿Entienden? Degree es un título, lo que estudias.
Yeah.
Mhm. Any other? For example, hectic, isolated, badly paid, well paid. Que no se lo olviden cuando estén describiendo en la prueba, el poner esa línea al medio, si no se des cuenta, ¿ya? El well paid and badly paid. Okay, so let's continue. Last class also, we were talking about a reading activity that was an example with these expressions, and I want you to pay a lot of attention to these expressions. I work as a. I work as a means yo trabajo como, y ahí tú dices la actividad. I work as an architect. I work as a PE teacher. I'm responsible for with ing. I'm responsible for. Dime una actividad, ayúdame un poquito ahí, porque con educación física se me vienen más ejemplos, pero con arquitectura, responsable de llevar a cabo, de responsable de qué sería, con qué verbo lo podríamos acompañar. ¿Los chicos de arquitectura?
Está difícil.
Sí.
Los arquitectos siempre crear.
Ok, creating. Entonces
Sí,
sería,
podría.
I'm responsible for creating. I'm responsible for designing. I'm responsible for, yes, remember the verb is with ing. Puedes decirlo con un sustantivo. I'm responsible for this project. Soy el responsable de este proyecto. Pero si lo dices con un verbo, por ejemplo, puedes decir, soy responsable de llevar a cabo este proyecto. I'm responsible for carrying out this project. ¿Se entiende? In the case of Eduardo, I'm responsible for helping teenagers get a healthy lifestyle. I'm responsible for making people understand the importance of exercising their lives. So I'm responsible for, with a verb with ing, or I'm responsible for a noun. I'm responsible for this class. Okay, Eduardo?
Yes.
In the case of architecture, remember, I'm responsible for carrying out this project. I'm responsible for this project. Then it is also my job to goes with a verb. It is also my job to, and additional, this is for additional things that are part of your job. Eduardo, it is also my job to have meetings with parents once a month. También soy responsable de hacer también tengo que hacer esta otra actividad en mi trabajo. It is also my job to, con un verbo que no lleva ing, es infinitivo. En arquitectura, it is also my job to hire builders and people for the project. También soy responsable de contratar la mano de obra, ¿verdad? El arquitecto también hace ese trabajo, contactar gente para llevar a cabo el proyecto. ¿Estoy en lo cierto?
Sí.
Sí, so it's also my job to hire, H-I-R-E. For this job, what do you need in terms of qualifications? For this job, you need, or the characteristics. For this job, you need to be patient. For this job, you need special qualifications, or for this job, you need to be well fit. En el caso de Eduardo, para este trabajo necesitas tener buen estado físico. Aunque sabemos que no son todos los casos, ¿no, Eduardo?
Claro,
O sea,
sí.
la historia lo dice, pero ¿para qué vamos a entrar a pelar? Pero for this job you need special, what would you say in architecture? For this job you need special skills. Para ser un arquitecto hay que tener habilidades, ¿verdad? Or for this job you need to be creative. You need to travel maybe to see other realities. So remember, with a verb with no ing, you also need to be good at. Ahora, fíjense en el good at. Siempre cuando nosotros decimos para esto tienes que ser bueno para, el verbo, la acción va con ing. Por ejemplo, en veterinaria decía, you also need to be good at keeping record because you have to collect. You also need to be good at, y va con un verbo con ing. Díganme ustedes una oración de acuerdo a su carrera. Bueno, ¿para qué habría que ser? Para los dos. Para los tres, perdón. Aquí a Esperanza no la he escuchado.
Bueno, yo creo que para las dos carreras es necesario tener harta imaginación.
Ya, entonces ahí sería, you also need to be good at having a good imagination. Tener buena imaginación. So you also need to be good at having good imagination. And also, maybe for both, it is also you both need to be good at listening to people, because the architect also needs to listen to the client's opinion and needs. And the teacher of physical education needs to be very good at listening to the students.
Yes.
The students' needs and problems and maybe physical issues. So in both cases, maybe listening. Remember, when you say good at, you have to use a verb with ing, okay? Like good at keeping records, good at, yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. You must be is for an adjective, and you must be outgoing. Por ejemplo, el profesor de educación física, si no es outgoing, no va a llegar a ninguna parte. Tiene que tener personalidad, ¿verdad?
Claro.
El arquitecto tiene que ser una persona creativa, como decíamos, and you must be creative, and you must be es como debe ser, ¿ya? So if we say you must be, for example, an architect must be visionary. Okay, so that person needs to see the future, like imagine the things the way they are going to be. A dreamer, maybe. Maybe architects should be a dreamer. Okay, so, but it can get a bit, ahí dicen el contra, but it can be a bit exhausting, but it can be a bit unstable, but it can be a bit, ustedes dicen algo que sea como un contra, un adjetivo pero un contra. But it can be a bit. Puede ser un poco
Difficult.
Exactly, but it can be a bit difficult. Right, very good. And it can also be a little, y ahí le adicionas otro adjetivo de también puede ser un poco. So remember these expressions about jobs. What are your responsibilities? I'm responsible for. Ojo con esto, porque también esto viene en la prueba, como yo les decía, está muy enfocado en jobs, la unidad 7, en cuanto a las preguntas de la prueba. Responsibilities, I'm responsible, porque me pasa que como en español es responsable, se tiende a escribir responsible, es responsible in English. I'm responsible for, with a verb in ing. It is also my job too, with a verb. These are the 3 questions that I'm going to ask in the test. And if I give you these options, it's because you have to use these expressions when you answer, all right? So if my question is, what are your responsibilities? I'm responsible for doing this. It is also my job to do this. What skills or qualifications you need? For this job, you need a degree in, I don't know. You also need to be good at, you must be, and the characteristic. What's your job like? I find my job, adjective. It can get a bit, adjective. It can also be a little, adjective. So all these are important things you need to consider. This was an activity we did last class. I don't know, Esperanza and I forgot the other name. I am really bad at names. Sorry. Esperanza and Diego, did you do this activity? Ahí está la Esperanza, está escribiendo. ¿Ustedes estuvieron presentes en la clase pasada? ¿La clase del lunes? ¿Diego, Esperanza?
No lo he visto aún.
No, pero ustedes no estaban, o sea, no hicieron esta actividad, eso es lo que no me acordaba.
Ah, no.
No? Okay, now I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this activity, all right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's do it. Okay, are you finished?
Estoy terminando.
Perfect. Okay, ready. So number one. Can you say number one, please? Anybody?
I work as barman. So
Exactly.
like, así,
Very good. I
salesman.
work as a barman, sales manager, doctor, flight attendant, nurse, and teacher. Very good. Number two, I'm responsible for. What do you put with I'm responsible for?
Ans- answering the phone, cooking meals,
Answering the
training.
phone. Yes, very good. With an action with ing. Excellent. Answering the phone, cooking meals, training salesmen, teaching children. Very good. Who can do number three?
Mm. Is
Mhm.
very interesting
It's my job too. In number three?
too, ¿sí?
Number three,
Very,
it's my job too.
¿o no?
No.
Too.
It's my job too. Si se acuerda de cuando vimos it's my job too, va con un infinitivo, va con un verbo. Mira el ejemplo. It's my job too. Se me perdió aquí. It's my job too. It is also my job to clean.
Ah,
So it's my job too.
too, podría ser teaching children. Ah, no.
It's my job too with an infinitive, not ing.
Sí, sí. Em,
Aunque tú puedes, dale.
podría ser repair cars.
Exactly. It's my job to. ¿Dónde dice repair cars?
En E.
That's a E. Sell
A.
houses, arrange meetings, design websites, and repair cars. Very good. Thank you. And then for this job, you need. Remember, for this job, you need. It goes with the qualifications. So for this job, you need.
Mm, mm, yeah. Ahí sí podría ser teaching children, ¿o no?
No, because for this job you need, look at the example here. For this job you need, it talks about the qualifications you need for the job, the studies you need for the job. So, look, for this job you need a degree in chemistry, an MBA, a certificate in teaching Spanish. Because for this job you need goes with qualifications, studies. Okay, look at this one. You need to be good at. It goes with the characteristics. Good at with a characteristic that is a verb with ing. You need to be good at. Look at the example. You need to be good at. A mí siempre se me pierden las cosas aquí. You also need to be good at keeping records. So you need to be good at working with children. You need to be good at using your ideas in projects. So it goes with ing. What is the matching that goes with number 5? You need to be good at selling, teamwork, talking to people, working with children. Very good. The work can get a bit. Remember that it goes with an adjective. The word can get a bit.
Stressful.
Exactly. As Esperanza says, it is for the part that is more negative. So the word can get a bit stressful, hectic, boring, dangerous, exhausting. And finally, I find my job.
Really fascinating.
That's right.
Very interesting.
Exactly. Really fascinating, very interesting, so exciting, really motivating. So remember all those matchings, because those expressions, like in the example here, are very important for the test. In fact, I wrote the 3 questions that I'm going to ask you about a job. All right? Now, this is a very simple thing. Let's try to complete it. I'm going to give you 1 minute just to write next to it, and we will see if you were right or wrong.
Bus,
Bus, number 1, who works on a bus?
bus drive.
The bus driver.
Bus drive, sí.
Bus driver. And it is the bus driver works on a bus. Vamos a ir atrás ahora y nos vamos a recordar. Dijimos, work nunca salía on con un medio de transporte. Entonces, esto lo tenemos que tener súper claro. Si aparece on con un medio de transporte y no at para un lugar, es porque es un medio de transporte donde la gente, y memorícense eso, va de pie. Es un medio de transporte público y la gente entra y puede estar parada dentro. Por ejemplo, en un bus tú entras y estás de pie y te puedes sentar. Pero, por ejemplo, en un auto tú no puedes estar de pie y después sentarte, a menos que sea muy chiquitito. Entonces ahí es in. In a taxi, okay? In a car. But on a bus, on a plane. Yeah, eso. Okay, so number 2, works in a school. Who works in a school?
Teacher.
The teacher, very good. What profession writes books? Number 3. A writer, very good.
Writer.
What profession works in a hospital?
Doc,
1 down. Yes? Doctor, yes, very good. What profession works in a restaurant? Number 2 down. It's a man. In this case, it's a man. Because if it is a girl, you spell it different. ¿Saben cómo se dice mesero y mesera?
no.
¿No? Waiter, como wait de esperar, pero si terminan ER, waiter es hombre. Si terminan 3, así, 3 con 2 S, como actress, waitress es una mujer. Waiter, hombre, waitress, mujer. En este caso es hombre, waiter.
Waiter.
That's right, that's a mesero. Who works with the doctor? Nurse, very good. And you write it nurse, and you pronounce it nurse. Very good, Esperanza. Okay, why did I do this activity for you? Because I want you to pay attention to the termination S. Cuando me digan dónde trabaja una persona, o lo que haga, se refiere a algo actualmente, es el presente, y no tenemos que olvidar la regla del presente simple. She works. My sister works. Pedro works. Tiene que ir con S. A menos que tú te refieras a ellos, como en general. Doctors, los doctores, trabajan en hospitales. Doctors work in hospitals. Pero si te refieres a un doctor, Dr. Pérez works in this hospital. Dr. Pérez works at Clínica Santa María, por ejemplo. ¿Se entiende?
Yes.
Si lo dicen en general, sin la S. Si lo dicen que es una persona, va con S. Okay, so next activity. Now, this is the final activity of this PowerPoint. But this activity is in the test. Tal cual. Esta es actividad de prueba. Y necesito que me presten atención para que vayan entendiendo la forma que va a ser. It's a career advice. Career, según lo que vimos en nuestra primera diapositiva hoy día en clases, career se refiere a tu carrera, a todo tu trabajo, a todo lo que tienes que hacer como profesional. No se refiere a lo que estás estudiando. Career advice charts son consejos que alguien da. Entonces esto lo tiene que, por ejemplo, escribir un arquitecto de renombre para ustedes que van a trabajar en eso, o un profesor de educación física con vasta experiencia que te va a ayudar un consejo y le entrega a sus alumnos este career chart. Okay? Career advice chart for, y escribes la profesión. Career advice for future architectures. Career advice for future PE teachers. Two things that are important for succeeding, for example. ¿Conocen la palabra succeed? Se escribe S, S, U, la letra U, double C, doble C, double E, doble E, D, ING, succeeding. Sí, no se le escribo acá en el chat si es que quieren, porque I don't know where, there. Okay, so I'm going to write it because it's quite difficult to understand this word. Succeeding. Okay, so that word. Okay, that word means tener éxito. Después de for, siempre que vean un adjetivo y después vean la palabra for y venga un verbo, ese verbo siempre viene con ing. Succeeding es tener éxito. Entonces, important things for succeeding in a job. Para tener éxito en un trabajo. O para decir for doing great, for being a good professional, for being a good architect. Two things which are important for being a good teacher of physical education. In a job are two, y aquí se tienen que poner dos cualidades que tienen que tener las personas que quieren estudiar, que van a trabajar en esa profesión. So, two things are important for succeeding in a job are to be creative and responsible, for example. Because, and here you justify, for example, two things are important for being successful as architects in a job are to be creative and responsible because projects that you do well and on time can be projects that people can see and admire in the future. So you justify your answers here. Two things which are not important for succeeding in a job are two. Now things are not important, cosas que no son relevantes con tu carrera. Y explicas el por qué. Based on this information, I believe that an ideal job for you, for Pedro, as an architect, is un trabajo ideal para Pedro como arquitecto es tal cosa, tal área. Based on this information, I believe that an ideal job for Juanito is, y das esa recomendación. ¿Qué es lo que van a ver en la prueba? Van a ver que yo les voy a hablar de las características de una persona que quiere estudiar una carrera, no está muy decidido, está entre una u otra, pero les doy las características de esas personas, como en su personalidad. Ustedes le dan consejos profesionales y le dicen que basado en lo que ustedes ven, ¿cuál sería su trabajo ideal? ¿Se entiende la actividad que van a tener que hacer?
Sí, yes.
So think about your ideas. This is going to be at Aula Virtual anyway.
Sí.
Thank you for letting me know. Also, in your Aula Virtual, and this is something that I'm going to use to finish today's class, is the word spend. Spend means it has two meanings in English. Pueden ver la palabra spend con dos significados en inglés. Una es gastar. por ejemplo, spend money. Tú gastas dinero. I spend money on clothes. I spend my money on music. Okay, so I spend my money on materials for my career, for my job. Now, spend también significa pasar. ¿Pasar qué? Pasar un tiempo. I love spending time with my family. I love spending time with my projects. Okay, I spend a lot of time with my team workers. I spend a lot of time with my classmates. I spend many hours of the day in front of the computer. ¿Entienden el concepto de spend? Para continuar.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I spend, we spend, or I don't spend. So you can use spend in affirmative or negative, like I spend or I don't spend. Esperanza spends. Esperanza doesn't spend. Remember the present simple. Okay, so here you have the options: 45 minutes, a lot of time, or I spent time, etc. And here are the options. For example, in the gym, talking with my family. So what are the three options? In, to talk about inside a place, a verb with ing, and for actions, or with the persons you're going to be spending time. Un minuto les doy para que ustedes puedan completar este chat with these words. Okay, so put these words in the correct place. Ready? Or not? No. More time? So let's check. I spend, for example, 45 minutes in the gym. I spend, or I don't spend, a lot of time. I spend a lot of time. ¿Qué más tienen de acá, de la primera columna?
On the bus,
Okay,
At
on the
home,
bus. Yes.
at work.
At home, at work. Very good, Esperanza. You did them very well. What about the second line? We spend a lot of time talking. Sleeping. Good.
Sleeping,
Yes.
driving,
Watching TV. So
watching
finally, I don't spend time with my family. With my friends.
And with my husband.
With my husband and with my girlfriend.
With my girlfriend.
That's right. So that is what we checked today. We were talking about professions. And we did this last class, so I'm not going to review it again and again. But we were talking about the characteristics of a job. And also we were talking about a little bit about the concept of spend. Next class, we're going to be working with listening skills. Today it was not listening. Next class is going to be listening, where we are going to listen to Doreen, who works for a publisher and likes rowing in her free time. So she's going to be talking about her week, and we will identify how much time she spends in different activities. To continue with the second part of the unit, to describe present activity and saying why you cannot do certain things, like expressions like busy or you don't enjoy doing things. So as you can see, next class is all about listening, and some expressions just say that you are busy. Okay? Is there a question or any doubts about the class?
Ok.
No questions?
No.
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 Sí, yo tenía una pregunta, pero es para mis compañeros, Miss.
Dígame la pregunta, Eduardo.
Porque en lo que es las tareas con Chris, no he podido enviar ninguna, pero me he metido al